What up, what up, what up? This is Chris Asbrock here for the second episode of Reds Weekly Recap, presented to you by Impact Sports Cincinnati. Again, I am Chris Asbrock. I will be your host again. And what a week it's been for the Cincinnati Reds. It was I don't really know how to come about it. This team is definitely you never know what you're going to get with them. Plain and simple. The Reds last week, while I was recording the first episode, they had knocked off the Detroit Tigers 4-3, and then they came back and won the second part of the doubleheader. It was a 4-0 victory, so it was kind of nice. Then on the Monday, Reds came back and knocked off the Cleveland Indians. So you're like, okay, here we go. Things are looking good. Then they dropped three straight to the Cleveland Indians: 4-2, 2-0, and 13-0. They went literally, two straight games without scoring a run. And that's what is really maddening about this ball club is, starting pitching is their starting ERA is simply phenomenal, and they continue to get just great performance after great performance outside of Castillo in the game where they lost 13-0. Other than that, these teams, they're struggling to manufacture a lot of runs here against the Reds. But then on the downside, you're not getting, they're not getting the help that they normally would, offensively in some of these games as well. Over the last, it's been kind of, like I said, off and on here, but through August, in terms of team leaders right now, it's been Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos he has been nothing short of phenomenal for this ball club, and I continue to say it, and I continue to go up and down the fact that Nick Castellanos is the guy, and he's lived up to that billing. There's nothing more you can really say about Castellanos. Right now he's coming in. He was 8 for 30 through 8 games here in the month of August right now. That's a 267 average. Jesse Winker actually leads the team right now through August, or I should say in the month of August. So basically it's going to encompass the last basically 7 days since I last recorded this to now. He's batting .316. Through 19 at-bats, he's got 6 hits, 1 double, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So if you're looking at the team striking out a lot, and a lot of that obviously, facing Shane Bieber the other night, against, the Indians, where in a game that you wouldn't expect them to – you would expect a little more, I guess, is kind of what you're thinking here. As I'm pulling up the Reds wrap from that Indians game on that Monday, this was, it was impressive to watch. Sonny Gray on that Monday absolutely locked in, and Sonny Gray is, he's one that, you continue to rely on. He's actually pitching right now in the game that obviously we are covering it live right now. He was just pulled. Right now the Reds are losing 4-2, but with Michael Lorenzen, actually it looks like Michael Lorenzen is in right now as he has taken over for Sonny Gray. But in terms of the Reds, the way things are going for them, they are. You can't ask for much more in a game to where they only were able to get 4 hits. They did knock off, like I said, the Indians 3-2 that game. 4 hits, and 3 of those were from guys at the top of the lineup. So Akiyama was 1 for 4, Votto was 1 for 3, and Castellanos was 1 for 3. They only had 7 strikeouts throughout that entire game. And if you look on the flip side there, Sonny Gray goes 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those earned, but did have 8 strikeouts. Again, he's got a .96 ERA, and you continue to be pleased at what you're getting from Sonny Gray. And you look at what you're getting also here from the rest of the team. You've got Lorenzen was stellar on that day. He went an inning, struck out two. Nate Jones went an inning, he struck out two. And Raisel Iglesias got the save, goes an inning, struck out two as well. It's been, this has been, like I said, an off and on type of game. But in that game, Castellanos and Votto both went yard. So, that's, you're kind of looking for, some positivity here from this Reds ball club. That's what you're getting, but then you come back the following day and, Shane Bieber, my goodness, that guy, simply, like I said, simply phenomenal. Shane Bieber goes 7 2/3. He gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. Both of those were earned, and he did strike out 8. However, the Reds did get 2 home runs off of Bieber, one from Suarez and then obviously another one from Castellanos. And again, Castellanos was, he was great. You look at, the way the bullpen, Tyler Mahle, he gave up a hit over 6 innings, struck out 6, walked 2. You have to build off of that, off of that kind of game there from your starting pitcher. But the wheels fell off in the 7th inning. That's when, the Reds were up 2-0 going into the 7th. Cleveland gets 2 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. Those are the kind of things that you cannot afford to have happen. And, it's just, these are the things that you can't afford to have happen. It's maddening when you get a performance like that against Shane Bieber and you cannot come away with a victory. Bieber's one who gets the win. Brad Hand got the save in that game. But again, the Reds, they just, like the bullpen, just simply just cannot get things going like, you would hope. And unfortunately, it's been the downfall for the Reds. And, unfortunately, it's going to continue to come back and haunt them until they can, rebound from games like that. And then it's, things like that, like I said, you cannot afford to have happen. And, it's, like I said, it's come back and it's cost the Reds so far. And you hope, right now it's not going to cost them any more because of, like I said, with it being a 60-game season, you can't afford to have, the games be, take this big of a magnitude, in terms of of how big they are, and you cannot come away and you end up wasting a start like you got. You can't afford to have that happen. Then they go up to Cleveland after going 1-1 at home, and again, tough luck again for the Reds. They were only able to manage 3 hits in that game. Clevenger got the win. Mike Clevenger was, he was solid. He went 5 2/3, gave up those 2 hits. He walked 5, struck out 4. Again, a game you have to win. You can't afford to. You can't afford to lose those games. Just plain and simple, you can't afford it. And the Reds did, and that's where you see the, that you see that kind of stuff. And like I said, and it drives you nuts because, when you get a starting performance like TJ Antone gave, but you can only manage 2 or 3 hits throughout the entire game, that cannot happen. And he only gave up. Antone goes 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run. One of those was earned. Struck out 4, walked 4, wasting a great start there. And, Lorenzen comes in. He finishes off the 4th, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, and it was an earned, and he walked 1. Lorenzen obviously has had his struggles this year, and that's where you kind of get the parts where it really stings when you see it. But again, those are the kind of starts, the way they're dropping these games is not, like I said, it continues to be, it's been falling on the bullpen, and that's where you can't, unfortunately, Antone is he's the hard luck loser in this game. Didn't deserve that loss after having what I feel is a great start for the young kid. what happened there, and that's unfortunately what you're getting from this Reds team. And again, Clevenger goes 5 2/3. He only gives up 2 hits. He walked 5. So you had guys. The Reds left a total of 7 guys left on base. They went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Indians on the flip side, 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. That kind of stuff can't happen. You have to make sure you take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you against quality pitching. The Reds obviously went up against quality pitching against the Cleveland Indians. Plain and simple, Indians have a great pitching staff. So do the Cincinnati Reds. You have to take advantage of that and win those games. You can't just rely on your horses just to get you those victories. They've done it. The Reds are lucky to be in the position they're in right now simply because of of what they've done. But, again, it's things like this that can't happen. Right now the Reds are down. Now it looks like 5-2. Things are starting to go awry here now. Michael Lorenzen, again, gets torched a little bit. Let's see what the stats are from Lorenzen, see what they gave him. So he didn't even record an out. 1 hit, a run, it was earned, 3 walks, ERA of 13.50 for Jared Lorenzen. Cody Reed is in the game right now, bases loaded, with 2 outs, and it's actually a single was just hit, and it is now 7-2. So, with that being the case, Cody Reed right now, before everything is updated, has gone a third of an inning, gave up 1 hit. Obviously, that has not yet been updated to reflect the gong show that we are seeing here. Sonny Gray, the final line for him, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs earned. And it looks like another single was hit. Let's see here. Well, it's not really updating as I'm recording this, so we'll see. But as of right now, it's 7-2. Yay, go Reds. Let's keep it up here. However, they are in a much better position than what they were before, so I can live with that. Back to the task at hand, 13-0 loss. This was on Thursday to the Cleveland Indians. Carlos Grasco took on Luis Castillo. Castillo was the loser. He falls to 0-2, while Carlos Carrasco got the win and goes to 2-1. Luis Castillo goes 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. Those 3 were earned. 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, did give up a home run, an ERA of 4.76. De Leon was the guy who got completely dominated in this game. Goes an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 8 runs, all 8 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts with an ERA of 43.2. Cody Reed came in, went third of an inning. Obviously, he capped off that brutal 10-run inning there. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both were earned, and had a walk and did give up a home run. His ERA sits at 16.2. Davidson came in, cleaned it up, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. So, again, this was just a game you like to forget. Carlos Carrasco, another solid pitching performance. 6 innings, 1 hit, walked 4, struck out 8, ERA at 2.50 on the season. Hill, Matone, and Plutko all gave an inning. Matone and Plutko gave up 2 hits, but total 3 strikeouts after those 3. Reds did strike out 11 times in that game. Akiyama got a hit, and Jesse Winker got 2. Other than that, everyone else was a big old fat over in that game. Again, tough luck. You're going to have those kind of games. Unfortunately, it happened to happen, against the Cleveland Indians in the final game. As on what's going to be kind of a pretty good road trip. The Reds at that point, they fell to 5-8 at that point in time, and it is what it is. At that point, they were still sitting. They were sitting third in the division behind the Milwaukee Brewers with that series coming up. However, Trevor Bauer was Trevor Bauer. Simply fantastic. Exactly what you wanted to see out of Trevor Bauer in a game. Basically, what I would like to say, must-win series And, the Reds had bare minimum had to take 2 of 3 in this series after falling, which I felt against the Cleveland Indians had to go at least 2-2 to continue that momentum. Unfortunately, the club did not. They ended up going, like I said, 1-3. Situation you cannot afford to have happen. They bare minimum, like I said, in this series have to go take 2 or 3 from Milwaukee. Right now, they did get 2. Again, they're still in the process right now. They are at the end of 6. They're down again 7-2 with Freddie Galvis. Looks like Travis Jankowski and Shogo are the next 3 up for the Cincinnati Reds as we head into the 7th. That's a tough way to possibly end the end the series. But in terms of the Reds, again, you head up to Milwaukee, face a Brewers team that at this point was 4-6. They were ahead of you in the standings. Again, you cannot afford to drop too many places, and unfortunately, for them, they did. While Trevor Bauer again, exactly what you wanted to see out of him. The Reds improved to 6-8 after this game in an 8-3 victory. They did score 6 times in the second inning, and then twice more in the 6th inning. The team was led by Castellanos, who goes 2 for 5. He knocked in 3. Davidson goes 2 for 5 as well. He also knocked in 3. He had a 3-run home run, and Castellanos had a 2-run bomb. The Reds, again, it's starting pitching is where it's at. Trevor Bauer goes 6, 3 hits, 1 run, and it was earned. He struck out 12 and walked 1. He did give up a home run. That's going to happen. It was to Logan Morrison in the 4th inning. It was a solo shot, so it wasn't that big of a deal for him. But again, the Cincinnati Reds, they were able to rebound there after a pretty brutal 3-game losing streak against the Cleveland Indians. Do bounce back and take care of business against the Milwaukee Brewers to improve at this point to 6-8. Going into last night's game, the Reds with DeSclafani on the mound taking on the Brewers again. The Reds improved to 7-8 with a chance to go to 800 here. In today's game, DeSclafani was solid as well. But the Reds again improved to 7-8 with a 4-1 victory over the Brewers. DeSclafani, 6 innings, he gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 6, no runs. Brian Anderson goes 3 2/3, 4 hits. 3 runs. 2 of those were earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and did give up the home run to Eugenio Suarez. It was a 3-run shot. That's the kind of thing you're looking for from the Reds. That's what you need. And, it's been – you're looking for the positivity here from the Cincinnati Reds, and that's what you're starting to get right now. Things are starting to kind of, improve here for this team against the team that was ahead of you in the standings. And that's where you really, like I said, you have to take advantage of that as you are moving forward. And the Reds did do that in the first 2 games of this series. Obviously, right now, like I said, things are a little tough. Freddie Galvis is up right now facing Devin Williams, who's on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. Right now, like I said, it is 7-2 in the top of the 7th. Reds have a chance to improve to 500, 8-8 on the season if they are able to come back and pull off a victory here against the Brewers. But, again, starting pitching ERA has been, like I said, it's been fantastic for this, for this team. It's been, exactly what you're wanting to see from the Reds. And it's, we're at the point now to where you are looking for any bit of positivity for this team. And that's, we have to continue to build on that momentum. Yeah, you're not going to go on these runs right now of, 16, 17 straight wins, anything crazy like that. But right now you got DeSclafani, he's 1-0. Trevor Bauer is 2-0. Sonny Gray, 3-0 at this point in time. DeSclafani has yet to give he's got a 0 ERA. Trevor Bauer with a .93 ERA. TJ Antone, 2.08 ERA. He did, like I said, did suffer the one loss. Sonny Gray, 2.25 ERA. That is reflecting, today. Luis Castillo, 0-2. When Luis Castillo was supposed to be your pitcher who you're looking at possibly competing for a Cy Young, he's 0 for, he's 0-2 with a 4.76 ERA. It's pretty crazy. Trevor Bauer right now in the season has 32 strikeouts. Sonny Gray with 35 and Luis Castillo with 26. So Reds pitching staff again they're racking up the strikeouts. And, Trevor Bauer, 32 strikeouts and 19 in 1/3 innings so far. That's a pretty darn impressive, like I said, for this ball club here, who is, it's, like I said, it's pretty impressive. And I'm looking here to see if trying to find out MLB now, or MLB is not, unfortunately, they're not going to help me out here in terms of the starting pitching ERA. But again, hey, you can only do so much here. Let me see. Of course, it's not going to work for me here. But what the heck? Like I said, this team here is, they've been, off and on. They have the potential to make some noise. We know that they have to make it happen. Unfortunately, right now at this point in time, things aren't going like we're hoping. And, but again, the Reds are still right there in it. That's the beauty of it. That's, you have to be pretty thankful for what we've seen so far. Right now, the Reds are 4 games back from the Chicago Cubs, who the Cubs are going to come back to earth, plain and simple. They're not going to be, they're not going to stay where they are. They're going to come back to earth. It's just a matter of how far down they're going to drop right now. They are 10-3 at the 769 winning percentage. Again, the Reds are 7-8. They're 4 games back. It's, it is kind of tough right now. It's 6-4 over your last 10. A run differential of -4 for the Reds here. This is where it drives you nuts. But again, it's quite interesting to see how things have played out so far for this team here. So as of right now, we are going to looks like Jankowski just struck out. Freddie Galvis led off the inning after grounding out first to Justin Smoke, it looks like, and then Shogo just struck out. So we are through 7, and let's see. Actually, we are approaching. Okay, just updated here. So now we're headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Reds are down 7-2. So as of right now, it's looking like the Reds are not going to improve to the magical 500 mark. Unfortunately, again, it is what it is. But I will be back next week. You can also check this podcast out, or this episode out, on Anchor if you just want the audio version of it. If you're listening on Anchor, I should say, you can also check out on YouTube where it is streamed. If you are checking out, we had some audio problems with the first stream on Anchor. For some reason, it did not carry over, and I was having technical problems with that. That is why that was not listed on the Anchor podcast this first time. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for checking us out here. Posted up on the website, impactsportscincinnati.wordpress.com. Like I said, I'm in the middle of hopefully getting that changed and having everything moved over from the previous website. So I'm hoping to get all that, again, shifted over here pretty soon. But I just posted the top 10 power rankings for Major League Baseball. Obviously, we're hoping to get another podcast coming up here with Kirk in regards to kind of a wrestling recap. So as always, follow me on Twitter at I am Chris Asbrock. You can follow at ISCincy as well on Twitter. Make sure you check us out. Make sure you check out the website. Again, check out the YouTube page. That's where a lot of these videos are going to be posted. Also, you can check out anchor.fm/Chris Asbrock for the audio version of this. It's out on all where you can find all podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, everything like that, Stitcher, I believe, as well. So with that being the case, again, thank you guys so much. Also, we are brought to you by we got a nice partner with FNX Fitness. Make sure you check out FNX Fitness or FNXFit.com. I'm sorry. And use the promo code BDiesel for 15% off your next purchase. Subscription, the subscription, those items do not apply to that 15% discount. So, but again, make sure you check out FNXFit.com. Use the promo code BDiesel for 15% off your next purchase. As always, thank you guys so much, and stick with us as we will be back next week for this third episode of the Reds Weekly Recap. Again, I am Chris Asbrock from ISC Cincinnati. Thank you so much, and have yourselves a fantastic rest of your weekend. Thank you, and have a good one.